I love Tertiary Colors and I love Prismacolors, so put them together and this is what you get, a beautiful swatch chart full of tertiary colors for you to color with. I love this chart. Now, most color wheels only have 12 colors and 6 of those are tertiary colors. I would like to introduce you to this new color wheel, which has 18 colors on it, and there are more tertiary colors. They are beautiful, and I can't wait for you to see all the tertiary colors. Do you even know what a tertiary color is? I'll bet you love them as much as I do. So let's talk about color wheels, tertiary colors, and then I want to color a new color wheel for my back wall that has 18 colors featuring those beautiful tertiary colors I just showed you. My name is Jennifer Stade. This is Coloring Bliss. Today I have my husband and business partner Steve here with me.
Hi everybody.
And I'm excited he's here because he, like me, loves color wheels.
Oh yeah.
And so we're going to talk about this new color wheel. We were recently at the NAMTA Creativation Expo and we came across the Color Wheel Company's booth. And they were so generous as to give me this color wheel right here with 18 colors on it. Now, I've tried to make my own 18 color wheel that I could share with you. I got into my digital app on my iPad and tried to draw one, and it does not look anywhere as good or as useful as this one right here. So I'm excited to recommend this. And I'm going to put links in the video description to both color wheels because we use both a lot. Not just for coloring and creating color choices, but also for teaching color theory and for training our eyes. And speaking of training our eyes, Steve just finished a workshop for all of our Color Academy members over at coloringbliss.com, where you can learn how to train your eye to see very subtle differences, like the differences between two different tertiary colors, or the tints and the tones and the shades
and neutrals.
Yeah, he did an awesome job on that workshop, and this is the color wheel we recommend for that workshop so that when you're sitting in your own art studio, you have the same colors in front of you as we have. But now we have this one, and it's different. It's very different. So I might end up recommending both now, and I think you can get them on Amazon as a duo in case you don't have either one, because I think everybody needs a color wheel if you want to learn how to pick beautiful colors. So let's take a close look at the two color wheels and the differences between the two. First off, right away, this one has 18 colors around it. So where do the extra 6 colors come from? Well, what we need to know is that there are 3 different types of colors on the color wheel. There are primary colors, which is red, yellow, and blue. And then when you mix those 2 colors together, you get our secondary colors, which are orange, green, and violet. And then when you mix a primary with a secondary, you get your tertiary, my favorite colors. Red, violet, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red, orange is what you get. So now comes this one. If you look here, we've got our primary red, we have our secondary orange, and over here, remember, red and orange, we only had 1 color in between those 2 colors. Now, on this color wheel, we have 2. Let me bring that up to screen so you can see. And I'm not sure if I agree with the way they named them. I think I would have done it the other way around. Do you know, Steve, any guesses why you think they named? Like, this one has more red in it, so I would have called this one red-orange. This one has more orange in it, so I would have called this one orange-red.
Yeah. I think to even just back up a little bit, on your traditional color wheel, the kind of correct industry standard is that the primary color name should always come first.
Right.
And then the secondary.
Okay, so all of them are
so that's
primary.
Yeah, so that's why they're like that on there. I think for the purposes of this one, they're, obviously they have 2 of them. So in the past we have said, I want a red, orange, or an orange, red, orange.
Right.
Right? But I think just to keep things more simple on this wheel, they're using it to describe the color and not following like some kind of a standard name. So in other words, it makes sense. And if you look at yellow orange
Yes.
and orange yellow, what it's saying is that this is a yellow orange, referring back to the orange, whereas the other one is an orange yellow, referring to the
back
yellow.
to the yellow. Oh, it's closer to the yellow.
Yeah, so it's just saying that, it's a yellow with some orange in it, and the other one is saying it's an orange with some yellow in it.
added into it. Okay, that makes me feel better. Thank you for helping me resolve that in my mind. There are several things when it comes to color wheels that I don't like, and it's important to remember that color wheels, color theory in general, is just that. It's a theory. It's men and women trying to make sense of color and put it into some sort of color logic, right? And so in my mind, logically, a color wheel should go the other direction. So it should start yellow and then go warm this direction and go into the oranges and reds this way. So usually when I build a color wheel, and this one I followed the more normal or correct way, but usually when I draw one up, I color it the other direction around. All right, so we're starting to understand why there's 18 colors on the color wheel. And why is this important? When you go into your color pencils, like your Prismacolors, or into your markers, you'll go into a section of, say, red violets. And there'll be a huge spectrum of colors in that one little area that you're looking at. So this helps explain that, where all those different red violets come from. If I swing way over here, let's spin this so that we can see. You can see here how different violet to violet red to red, those colors are. There's a huge difference in those colors. And so if you sit down to pick out a red violet, you might be like, well, that's kind of red violet, but it's not quite the color I was picturing. Anyway, this will help you pinpoint those subtle variations in the tertiaries, which is really helpful. Okay, so the next thing that this color wheel does really well, even better than this older color wheel, is to show the tints, tones, and shades. So here around the outside we have the pure colors. Steve, will you explain what a tint, tone, and a shade is?
Yeah, you bet. The pure color, as I explained in the workshop that I did, we've also called in the past the mother color. In our tritones, it's the medium color that we typically use. But yeah, it's your pure color. And then when you add white to a pure color, you get a tint.
Yeah. Oops, sorry.
And so just picture, taking that pure color, add some white to it, and obviously what's good about this one is it's showing you kind of the amount of white that you add.
Right.
Which the other color wheel that we have just shows you one value of white.
Yeah. So let me flip this over. Here's blue-green as our pure color, and then it shows one tint. And now over here on this new color wheel, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels of tint.
Yeah, so you can see, if you were to do just a little white or a lot of white.
Yeah.
So I like that about this wheel. Okay, so now if you flip it over, we're going to see what happens when you add gray all the way up to black. And I like how this wheel shows that. So if you have the pure color and you add gray to it, you get tones. And if you add black to it, you get a shade. Now if you bring up that other color wheel, the original, once again we're only seeing one representation of a tone and one representation of a shade. The shade on this one is pretty much, if you were to take the pure color and add black.
Yeah.
Then you get that color. And then a medium kind of gray.
Yeah.
But this one is showing that, if you think about black, it is a shade of gray. It's just really dark.
Right.
And so this one is kind of showing you that. You start with your pure color, and maybe you add a lighter gray, and then a progressively darker shade of gray as you go down, and you can see what happens to that pure color as you add more and more gray.
It kind of answers one of the questions we get a lot about color wheels, is where are the browns in a color wheel, and that's one of the places that the browns appear in the color wheel, is in the tones and the shades. As you can see here, when you get way down here,
and if
to
you
the
rotate
bottom.
it to the right, you'll see even more as you get into the yellows.
Look at all those pretty colors. So pretty. I love it. So one thing that this color wheel doesn't do, that this color wheel does, is it talks about adding different colors. So like here we have violet, and if you add yellow, there's some more of those weird browns that we get. And here, oh wait, no, let's do, for instance, blue plus orange. Look at that interesting color you get.
Yeah. And those are basically showing the complements.
Yeah. So it's really, this one has a few more things on it, like we get the value scale on this color wheel. This color wheel defines a few more things, like primary color, secondary, tertiary, warm, cool, color, hue, value, intensity, all of that is there.
Which, if you hold up the other wheel, keep that one there, and then hold up the other wheel below it. That's kind of how you see the value scale, like value 10, value 9, value 8, 7, 6, and all the way down.
Oh, yeah.
That's basically what's happening on your tones and your shades there on that wheel.
Right, they've applied this scale right here onto this page.
Yeah.
That's really cool, like laying a gray on top of a pure color. It's really pretty, so pretty. Okay, let's talk a couple more things that are different. This center part here helps you pick color schemes. So for instance, let's say you wanted to use red violet. Let's go back to red violet. And you knew you wanted to use red violet for a color scheme. This would show you several to choose from. So if you follow the lines into a triad, they're suggesting you add red violet to yellow, orange, and blue, green, or you can follow it into the split complementary and you can use it with green and yellow, or you can follow that line and you get the complementary color of red violet, and then it has the two different tetrads, the square tetrad and the rectangle tetrad as well, that you can do the same thing. Here, this is a lot smaller. So it's a little trickier, the center part here, but it still has the triad, and the split complementary and the complementary color are indicated, but you lose the tetrads, the two tetrads, which is interesting. But then they do talk about different things over here, like monochromatic, analogous complementary, which in the Coloring Bliss world we call that the complementary analogous. Yeah. So they talk about some different things here.
What really intrigues me about this color wheel and applying these color schemes is that now you're going to be bringing together, in some cases, two tertiary colors into a color combination.
Yeah.
So, you know, for instance, if you show it on the original,
right,
the red violet is your main color, and then using the analogous complementary color scheme would be green, yellow, green, and yellow.
You pull all three of these into your color scheme with the red violet.
Yeah, and so you have one tertiary color, which is yellow, green. Right,
and you get a secondary and a primary color, all in one color scheme. So
which is great. I mean, that's just beautiful.
I love
this new wheel is really interesting, because now if you do the same thing, you got your red violet.
And we follow the lines down for the split complementary, and it gives us yellow again, just like here. And we get yellow green, just like here. But now we get two yellow greens instead of a green. We get the two different yellow greens.
And I like that better. Like, that's going to be really subtle and nice. Yeah.
Can you imagine really your trees colored all in with all of these different yellow greens and green yellows? And the yellow highlights going on, and then red violet flowers, and it would be really pretty.
That's cool to have two tertiary colors in your color combination. That's
right. So I love it. This one now, the 18 color wheel, is being called the Creative Color Wheel, and I don't know what they call it. We just call this one the Standard Artist Color Wheel, but they're both made by the same company. We're going to put links in the video description. Now the links help us because they're affiliate links, so we get a little kickback and you don't have to pay any extra. But there's another reason I want you to use our links, and that's because there are a lot of knockoffs, especially of this color wheel, being sold on Amazon that are being produced in China, and they are not being as careful with the color accuracy. So your orange might not be a really good true orange, or yellow. You get what I mean. There's different ways of printing.
Well, they've basically stolen.
They've stolen the color company's layout, and they're rebranding it and selling it cheaper. So I highly recommend supporting this made in USA company. Plus, they're putting in the extra effort to make sure that your color wheel, when you get it, is accurate, and it's a really good tool for you, and it's not going to be something that will frustrate you. So that's why I recommend you use our links more so than the affiliate bonus that we get. So what I would like to do is show you now in real life how having multiple tertiaries is going to be so much fun. We have a book here at Coloring Bliss. It's called Prismacolor Bliss. It's a companion book to the full 150 set of Prismacolor Premier color pencils. So if you have the full set, if you're going to buy the full set, if you want help understanding how to use them, how to organize them, this is, I think it was 88 pages I wrote down. 82-page book, and it has multiple different kinds of paper in this book. It's a beautiful book, full color in the beginning. All my knowledge that I've gained over almost a decade is in here, and Steve helped put it together into a beautiful format. There's even spots in the back where you can practice coloring in with swatches, and then actual coloring pages in here too, if I can get to those. Let me show you some of them. Yeah, see, look how pretty. There's coloring pages in here for you to practice on the beautiful coloring paper, the colored pencil paper. So this book I'm going to put a link to, because if you own the full set of Prismacolors, you need this book. And one of those pages in this book is this page right here, which shows you the two different tertiaries, a light, medium, and dark Prismacolor Premier pencil that represents each of the two different tertiaries. So you end up with this beautiful page of tertiaries. Look at it. A dozen beautiful tertiaries. I love tertiary colors because they're so interesting and full of depth, and they can be matched in with other colors so easily, and I love them. They give a nice feel to anything you color when you add a tertiary color. So I want to now take this chart that I started. I took the color wheel, I centered it on here and traced it and made little ticks for every one of the 18 slots. And then I took my compass and I made a bigger ring around so that I can write each color name down. Now, Steve, do you think I should follow the color wheel the way they do it, where they start with yellow and go to cool? Or should I break all the rules and do it my way, where it starts with yellow and goes to the warm colors?
I like the idea of following that wheel, mainly because then you can hold that wheel up when you're done.
And show
and see it side by side, go in the same direction.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. I'm going to have to bend my brain, my color brain, into putting the cools going clockwise and then into the warms later.
That's going to be fun seeing it in the Prismacolor Premier world.
Yeah. This is going to take some time, and I can't wait for you to watch it appear on this page, because Steve will do a time lapse and it's going to be so pretty. So yeah. Very good. I'm excited. Let's get started. So in the end, I decided to follow the order of the artist's color wheel, where it starts with yellow and clockwise moves to the cooler colors around to the warmer colors. But what I did to help my brain work through this so I didn't make a mistake is I decided to work counterclockwise on the color wheel so I could start with yellow and move to the warmer colors. So I'm going to follow some basic steps for each wedge on the color wheel. First off is the outer rim of the edge. I wanted it to be the pure color. So in each case, in each wedge, the pure color is the mid-tone, so I have a light, medium, and dark to represent each color. So for that outer wedge, what I did was color a very full saturated amount of the pencil in the center and then tapered off to lighter on each edge. I think this will make a good transition from the outer edge into the full blend. Now for the full blend, I started with the lightest color, moved to the mid-tone, and then I laid down the darkest color. And the hardest part of all of this was to try to keep consistently the right amount of light to medium to dark so that in the end the color wheel looks consistent from one wedge to the next. Now the final step to really bring this all together is to use a colorless blender. This is the Prismacolor Premier colorless blender. I'm going to go over each wedge, not the outer edge, just the 3-color blend, and get rid of a lot of the white flecks in the paper. This is called burnishing, and what I do is start at the lightest color and move towards the darkest color. This is really important because the darkest pigments can spread and take over the rest of the blend. So I almost always burnish from light to dark. All right, Rose just woke up. I just finished my color wheel, and I'm going to invite Steve to come over and see how it turned out. Our 18 color Prismacolor color wheel.
Oh, I love it.
It's going to look so good on the back wall.
Yeah.
I love the 18 colors.
Oh, me too.
The way it flows all the way around. What do you think? Do we always need to be using an 18 color color wheel now? I think there's a place for both color wheels, and that's why I think I would recommend you purchase both color wheels. But this is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, wow.
I love how that turned out. Now there was one little oops, I'll show it to you right here. A little bit of dark pigment from, I think it was violet, got way over here into the violet blue. So I worked really hard to get rid of it, and I did my best, and I don't think you can see it. Did you notice it, Steve?
No.
Okay, good. So that's my only mistake. Don't tell anyone. But that's how it turned out. I'm covered in Prismacolor dust now because of doing all that burnishing. Wow. But I love how it turned out.
Wow, that is beautiful. So
what do you think, Steve? Do they need both color wheels in their life?
Yeah, I think so. It's got me thinking about, different things we could create and creating that, and yeah, let us know if you'd like us to create some resources. I don't know how that would affect our tritone system and the color schemes that we have there.
Yeah.
Because like I said, having those extra tertiary colors kind of changes all of those color combos.
Yeah.
But it could be fun to sit down and try to figure out how it would change those.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of potential here if we wanted to shift over to an 18 color wheel. But I do think there's a place for both of these color wheels because they each have different tools, a slightly different take on the color theory. I think both are very valuable and worth having in your stash. So like I said, follow the link in the video description to get these wheels, and make sure you get the correct wheel by the Color Wheel Company. And like Steve said, if you would like us to maybe make you a blank wheel so you can do this at home, or if you can think of other resources you'd like us to make based on the 18 color wheel, let us know. So, and I think little Rose is ready to be done. Oh, she wants a treat. She has been sitting here for 2.5 hours.
Oh, she's a good girl.
Yeah, I think I'll give her a little treat for being such a patient girl. And I want to thank everyone for joining us in this video. Make sure you hit like on the video and subscribe so that you don't miss out on future content. We have another giveaway planned, and it's coming very soon. So make sure you have subscribed and hit the little bell notification. And the best way to learn about all of our giveaways and upcoming resources and tools is to become a free member over at Coloring Bliss. That way you can get our emails that come out weekly, and you'll be able to find out about our giveaways. Now, also don't forget that Steve has that eye training workshop that he has created to help your eyes so that when you see a color wheel like this, you can understand what all these different colors are and how to pick them out. It's such a good training, and it's part of our Coloring Academy membership. So come on over to Coloring Bliss and learn about that as well. Thanks everyone for joining us, and I hope you all have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye everyone. Say bye. Say bye. Oh, that was pretty good. That was almost a bye. All right, I'll give you another one. You deserve it. You've been sitting here a very long time. It's time for dinner. Yeah, that's how long. Bye-bye everyone.